Highway 1. It's the road that connects us. It's part of our landscapes. It's how we move. And while there is beauty on the road, there are problems too. They say life is a journey. If that's true, you need to get back on the road.
Committing a crime is more than a bump in the road, and getting back on track is hard. Some people don't make it back. They bounce back and forth, they hurt the people that love them, and they waste their lives. You don't have to be that person. You can get your life back on track. If you're ready, we're here to help.
Arrestees enter the criminal justice system through the intake at the Water Street Jail. At first, correctional officers focus on immediate needs to determine if inmates are medically stable, oriented to what is happening, or are likely to harm others or themselves.
Everyone who comes here is in some state of crisis. They're at their lowest point. They've been under the influence of drugs, alcohol, maybe they've hurt someone, or they want to hurt themselves. While they're here, we have to keep them safe. After they've been here for a while, met with their attorney, gone to court, they realize just how serious things are.
For those who are going to remain in custody, the jail classification team will determine where the inmate should be housed. This decision is critical because it determines the number of opportunities available and the level of restrictions on their freedom at the jail.
As a general rule, we want to place inmates in a less restrictive environment, or at least somewhere they can show they can get along and cooperate. Unfortunately, a lot of inmates are more committed to their friends than their family, or a criminal lifestyle than a life of honor. There's a lot of hard heads out there, but if they're ready, we're ready.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us.
The jail's programming unit was established to provide intense, rehabilitative programming to help inmates change the way they think about their behavior. The curriculum is based on evidence-based practices proven to be most effective in improving behavior. These include cognitive-based therapies, substance abuse treatment, and education.
We're laying a foundation for understanding just how your thoughts got you here in the first place. People here are working at getting along. They're working hard to better themselves, and in the process, they're gaining confidence. If you're ready for change, the next step is more opportunities, and that includes getting custody credits for successfully completing programs.
The Roundtree Men's and Blaine Street Women's facilities offer less restrictive and safer living arrangements, expanded visiting, and many more program opportunities and options, as well as meaningful work assignments.
The Roundtree Challenge is a series of programs and self-directed activities that build on the skills learned in the programs unit, and inmates that are motivated to create positive change in their lives have an opportunity to access instructors and programs that can support them to take a look at what hasn't worked and create a plan for success.
Blaine Street is the women's facility. It's a facility where the women can actually regroup and refocus. We have lots of instructors who work with women and their issues. It's a place where we expect respect, and it is often given.
The Sheriff's Office is currently in the planning and building phase to open a new men's rehabilitation and reentry facility. The emphasis at this facility will be advanced education, vocational instruction, and reestablishing community connections, including family visits.
The idea behind the R&R is for these people to apply the tools and habits they've learned at the Roundtree facility so they can be successful when they're released. We are currently in discussions with Cruz College to offer college-level courses at the facility. We're also looking at job training that's going to help them when they get released and hook them up with employers that are willing to hire them. And this might sound funny to say, but we'd rather not have you back. We'd rather see you on the street and wave hello.
For inmates who've completed the Roundtree Challenge or succeeded at Blaine Street, the Sheriff's Office will evaluate for early release on community supervision as a way to successfully re-enter the community.
In the Custody Alternative Program, we focus on transitioning the offender from jail to the community. To do that, we place the offender on electronic monitoring in the community with supervision and structure for the last part of their sentence.
We have a system approach to corrections designed to reduce recidivism. It's not going to work for everyone. For those that have too serious a crime, we cannot take a chance on them. Others just might not have what it takes or are too immature to change. But for those that want to stop coming through the revolving jail doors, you can move from the passenger seat to the driver's seat. Don't let life pass you by.
Going to jail changed my life. The night before I was arrested, I had reached this point where I was physically, mentally, and just emotionally exhausted. And I remember crying and praying to God for the first time in a long time that I needed some help. And I was arrested 3 hours later at 6 in the morning on a high-speed chase out in Watsonville. And when I went to jail, they were gonna OR me again for the 3rd time in that month. And I told the judge that if he released me, that I'd be selling drugs before I made it back to Watsonville that night. And he said that he could respect my honesty, and he sent me back to jail and sentenced me to 3 months, 94 days in county. And so when I went back and I looked at the things in my life, I decided I was gonna make a change, and I started going to a meeting a day while I was in jail. And then I made it over to Blaine Street, where they offer a lot of different programs. And some women's from H&I, from Narcotics Anonymous, came in, and they really changed my life. And they showed me that you could have a good life, and you didn't need to do drugs to do that.
So that's Highway 1. This is the map to give you the direction to move forward. If you're ready to get back on the road, this is the vehicle. But you are in the driver's seat, and it can be a long, hard road. So, get going.